guys, it's Brooke. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys some creepy stories, some about things that I've personally experienced, and also I'm going to start it off with a really creepy story that my grandpa actually told me that he experienced, which I think you guys will really like. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So back when my grandpa was around in his 30s, 40s, somewhere around that age, him and his friends decided they wanted to do a Ouija board. Now, legend has it that when my grandpa was younger, everybody in my family tells me that he was actually able to see ghosts and talk to ghosts. So him and his friends decided one day they wanted to do a Ouija board. So when they were doing the Ouija board, nothing was happening, and then finally my grandpa told me that this spirit came on. And the spirit gave my grandpa his name and his phone number and was telling my grandpa how he died. So he was telling my grandpa about how the mob killed him and how nobody was able to find his body. And his parents had a gravestone for him, but his body wasn't in the grave because nobody could locate his body. He told my grandpa where his body was located in a landmine or something, and it was buried there, and he wanted my grandpa to call his family and tell them where his body was. My grandpa was really freaked out by this. They decided to end the Ouija board session and say goodbye. So sometimes your friends move around the little Ouija board thing to freak you out, and my grandpa wasn't sure if they were doing this to freak him out or if this was a true story, and he wanted to look further into it. So he actually decided to call the number that the spirit gave them. So my grandpa decided to call this number to see if this story was really true, and he wanted to talk to the parents and tell them what happened. So he called the number, and it turns out that this spirit was actually a real person, and he really was killed, and they didn't know where his body was. So my grandpa at the time was a cop, and he decided that he was gonna tip off some of his friends and tell them that he knew where one of the bodies were of this missing guy, that no one knew where his body was. And it turns out they actually found the body in this landmine where he said he was located. So my grandpa was actually so freaked out that this was actually a real spirit that him and his friends decided they wanted to burn the Ouija board. And my grandpa tells me that when he was burning the Ouija board, it was actually screaming. I know that sounds crazy, but I kind of believe it. I don't know, I believe in weird spirit things, and my grandpa obviously wouldn't lie to me. I don't know, that just freaked me out and made me never want to touch a Ouija board. And now a shorter story about a Ouija board my grandpa also told me was one time when he was doing a Ouija board, he said goodbye and walked away from it, and the Ouija board fell off the table and was following him. That is so creepy to me. Literally, I think I would run out of my house and just set my house on fire. I would be so scared. That is so terrifying to me. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into some stories that I've experienced firsthand with some ghosts. And yeah, my best friend's house is haunted. One time, me and a few of my friends were at his house, and we were in his room, and he was telling us about how his house is haunted and how he sees a little girl in his house sometimes. And some of my friends didn't believe him, and we kind of all just wanted to see if the spirit was there. So my friend closed his door, and we all were sitting on his bed, and we kept saying, "Spirit, if you're there, come out. Spirit, give us a sign if you're there." Maybe a minute later, his door swung open, and we heard it sounded like a huge branch off a tree falling in the road and just breaking everywhere. And it also kind of sounded like glass shattering at the same time, this really weird loud noise outside his window. And we all get up so scared. We run downstairs, we go outside to see if something broke in the road or something, because that's what it sounded like, and nothing was there. This was definitely one of the creepiest ghost experiences I had at his house. I was so freaked out by this, I literally wouldn't go back in his room for ever. I was so scared. I just wanted to go home. I was so freaked out that this ghost was gonna possess me and follow me home, and I just didn't want anything to do with it. So this next story is more recent. It actually happened in December, 2016. So I'm at my friend's house. This is December, early December, and we're getting ready to decorate his house, and we took a break to stop and eat. So me and him were in his kitchen area, and he has this countertop say back here, and he was standing where I am, and his dog was down on the floor. He had his hands up like this, and he was making her do tricks, and she was poking her nose to his hand. He was just teasing her, and there's a table back here, and there was a chicken on it. Hang on, Mom's calling. Hello? No, I didn't. Okay, love you. Bye. that's so creepy. My mom just called me and said, hey, you called me? And I was like, no. And my phone was on my bed, like face up. And she was like, maybe you butt dialed me? That's so creepy. Okay. Anyway, there was a chicken behind him, a roasted chicken that you get from the supermarket with scissors in it because his mom gets those and like chops it up and puts it in his dog's food. So she had the scissors in it because she was like going to cut it up and put it in the dog's food. And as we're standing here, like not moving, not hitting into the table, like we're just standing there looking at the dog, the scissors come flying out of the chicken at him. I screamed so loud. I was like, a ghost is trying to kill you. Why did these scissors just defy gravity, come out of the chicken, and fly across the room at you trying to kill you? This freaked me out so bad. What are you doing?
Did this really happen?
Yeah. They were stuck inside the top of the chicken and just went flying out. I swear on my life. Oh my god, my mirror just started falling. These scissors just tried to attack him and it was so freaky. I was done. So then we were like, you know what, we don't even want to be down here anymore. We went upstairs to go watch some movies and we were setting his bed and he has this like big plastic water bottle, like this big, and it was filled halfway with water. It was on top of his like desk thingy where like his hamster is. So he had this huge water bottle there and we're not even near it. And we're setting his bed and all of a sudden the water bottle falls over and like knocked something with it. And we literally ran out of his room, went downstairs. We were just like done at this point. I was like, I want to leave. Like, your house is literally haunted. This is so freaky. Like twice in a row something happened in the same day. I was so scared. That's what happened that day. Then another day when I went back to his house, maybe a week later, we were decorating some more and we were downstairs in his like little living room thing. Me, his mom, and him and his little brother were all sitting in there and his sister was upstairs. We're just sitting there untangling lights and we hear pots like bang together and we all got so freaked out. We thought somebody was in the house. We were like, what is that noise? Like, who just did that? Nobody's in the kitchen. And from where you're seated in the living room thing, you have perfect view of the kitchen. So like we would have seen if someone was in there. And it's not like they have pots like laying around. When we heard these pots just like clash together, we thought somebody was in the house. It was so freaky. And then like we all got so silent, so scared. We're sitting in his little living room thing, not knowing what to do. And we're just like, what was that noise? Like, is somebody in the house? So we started searching the whole house and literally nothing was there. So we assumed it was a ghost and we went back to untangling lights. And then maybe like not even 30 minutes later, he has this like really long mantle above his fireplace. And there's a bunch of pictures across this mantle. And as we're untangling the lights, we're not near it, we're like on the couches. One of the pictures just falls down. It's not like these pictures like are close to the edge or there's like breezes blowing or anything, nothing. It just literally fell. I can't even explain it. It just literally just collapsed over and it was so freaky. We screamed. I screamed so loud because I got so scared by it. I was like, there's definitely a ghost here right now. Like first the pots, then this stupid picture, but it just fell out of nowhere. Like no one was touching it, nobody was by it, there was no movement by it, and it just falls. At this point, I'm done. I'm like, okay, if I didn't believe this house was haunted before, like something is here. There is no way, like this is just so beyond creepy. I was so scared, I screamed. We all got so freaked out, so yeah. Okay, so my final story for this video takes place in my family's Hampton house. So me and my whole family were in the house. It was my aunts, my uncles, my mom, my dad, me and my sister, and my two cousins, Preston and Mia. So me, my cousins, and my sister were outside. It was a nice summer day, and we were playing on the tennis court. My mom was in the kitchen with my Aunt Wendy and my Aunt Carrie and my grandma, and they were cooking. And there's this door in the kitchen that leads into the basement, and while they're cooking, all of a sudden, my mom sees that the handle on the basement door starts shaking as if somebody's locked down there trying to come inside. There's no locks on this door, mind you, and we all were outside. So this handle of the door starts jiggling as if it's locked or stuck and someone's trying to come inside. So the parents just assume it's the kids in the basement trying to like play a prank on them and scare them, so they just ignore it and keep cooking. So then around 20 minutes later, me, my sister, and my 2 cousins walk back inside the house from being outside. My mom and everybody got really confused because they thought we were in the basement. So they were like, were you guys just in the basement or were you outside this whole time? And we were like, we were outside. Why? And she was like, because the basement door handle was shaking as if you guys were trying to scare us. We thought you were down there. And we were like, no, what the heck? So then another 30 minutes goes by and we're just like upstairs hanging out, and my mom like screams because it starts doing that again. And we all were like, what? We run downstairs and she's like, the door handle was shaking again. And she opened the door and nothing was there. It was pitch black down there and she was so scared. We all got so scared. We were like, we're never going in the basement again. Like, that's actually terrifying. So yeah, that's some scary stories for you guys that I had to share. I definitely have more, so if you liked this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and let me know if you want me to tell more ghost stories. And make sure you subscribe down below. I post videos every Friday. And also make sure you check out my main channel where I post singing covers every single Wednesday, and the link will be in the description below. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next week.